please favor for me. Do this one favor for me. I haven't seen that intro in fucking forever. What's going on, guys? You know me, it's your girl Candy. How are you doing? Hope everything's going well. I did not share out this episode, so honestly, if nobody watches, that's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna spit my fair ones about the topic, and you guys can watch it back whenever you want, obviously, because that's the point of playbacks is you get to watch it whenever. I'm going to make a video about this on TikTok. If you want to follow me on TikTok, it is c.hayes.inc. Once again, c.hayes.inc. c.hayes.inc. And you can follow me on TikTok or whatever, and you can go there to watch all my buffoonery, dance videos, me talking shit, popping my shit, looking good like a real bitch should or whatever. Um, but yeah, so I seen there's this creator, I can't remember his name right now, but he just personally just kind of like popped up on my timeline recently, within the past maybe month or so. And he does these really good. I mean, I can't remember. There was a person who did videos like this, more so like Vine, Instagram type shit. Well, actually, I it's not. It's YouTuber Hot Damn I Rock. If you know who that is, then you know good YouTube. Okay. Hot Damn I Rock. Hey Menina. He is, I mean, he was a pinnacle era of YouTube that if you missed out on it, I'm so sorry. Um, and he stopped doing YouTube, but he almost this person off of TikTok, almost the same type of pieces that he did. Very much self-reflection work, and also talking to himself as if it's not himself, as if it's like another person. Or just doing these great skits that give real emotion, not like just animated faces. Like it's really talking about some shit. And today one popped up, and like I said, I haven't recorded the video yet, but I will. And the video will be shorter and it will definitely have more comedy behind it than what I'm saying now. But the premise of the video was him in, I don't know if she's a girlfriend, but I think they might have been actually boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know. It just felt like it was too easy in the process of them kind of ending things at the end. But basically they are in a long distance relationship, or they just have some type of long distance situationship. They have a long distance something going on between the two of them. And they're doing things that people who are long distance do. Like they are playing some type of virtual game. They both can be involved in asking questions. And, she asked him, what's something that you could do right now if you could? And he's just like, be with you whenever I could. And, it gets into this kind of hard conversation, which is another video that I posted maybe 4 or 5 days ago. And I wish people really paid attention to my videos because they lead up to stuff. I will say this. There are videos that I post that I'm just talking about stuff because it's the hot topic, right? It's a video that's kind of going viral. It's a video that everybody's stitching, obviously. But when I'm like, if it's a non-stitched video and it's not really directed towards anything specific, it just kind of seems like I kind of came out of left field with it. This is real life stuff that has or is currently happening to me. And I talk about these things, and a lot of people kind of like write them off as like, ah, Candace, but this is real life shit that's happening, and people paid attention, they would understand like this isn't just something that was made up. Like, nah, bro, this is some real shit. But I posted a video basically talking about how you could really be having a fun conversation or an intimate conversation. In some way, somehow, it starts bubbling into this real intense convo that you kind of wasn't intending to happen, and now it's happening. Like, you didn't come in here prepared to do a debate or anything. Like, this is a real life intimate conversation that's happening right here in your face, and you are very ill prepared. So you're kind of just saying whatever's coming to your mind right now, and then next thing you know, you're not together anymore. And that's kind of like what happened in this case. They kind of just were going back and forth and saying, like, it's been 2 months that we've seen each other, and we're both kind of like in a financial struggle right now. So it's not even ideal for us to, like, go back and forth to see one another. It's just a lot. Do love each other, do have each other's backs, but it's just a lot. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But at least we're doing this as a mutual agreement. And, we'll check back in when we do. And that was it. I mean, it was done with such maturity and so much love, but it the hurt doesn't end when you hang up that phone. And that's what I also said in the video. Like, it's the thought process of what happens after the phone call's done, after the video chat's done. That emptiness, when the screen goes black, when there's no sound, when that hang up dial tone hits, that's the feeling. If you're able to just walk away and be like, all right, bro, it's cool, it's whatever, kudos to you. But most of us, i.e., your girl, oh, in that pillow, tight. I mean, moaning and groaning, like low screams, can't breathe, crying, crying. Okay, horrible. So it's these discussions, these conversations that you genuinely have to have, and no one ever wants to have an uncomfortable conversation. I don't think that's on anyone's agenda every day they wake up. Like, how can I have conversation I possibly could think of with this person? No one wants to think about that, but unfortunately, it happens. You don't think about it, but it does. And I think the difference between when an incident or situation happens, you're able to know, like, either when you call that person, when that person calls you, when you talk to each other, or when you guys link up or whatever, you guys are going to talk it out. So you have been mentally preparing yourself for this conversation to kind of bring whatever facts that you need to bring to present it to the court, which is just between you and them, or you and her. This is all I have. This is the evidence that lays in front of me. This is the reason why it's not my fault. And the other person's going to do the same, but now you have to do well, whose fault is it? Who's to blame? Is it miscommunication? Is it this and the third? And when you're prepared, you have it all laid out. When you're unprepared, you just start saying some shit out your mouth that you probably don't mean, but it's all happening right then and there. So, long distance relationships, which is the premise of this, within under 10 minutes, I got to it. Long distance relationships. Your girl has been in one. I've talked about it on this channel many a times. My sophomore year of college, I was in a long distance relationship. Well, okay. Let's back that up. The summer so it's freshman year, right? And now we're going into sophomore year of college. So the summer going into sophomore year of college, one of my friends from my freshman year of college introduced me to somebody she went to high school with. And we started chatting on Uvu. Yes, I know, Uvu. How old am I? And it was cool. I definitely felt weird because I only have communicated and chatted with people who I know from my own firsthand experience, i.e. school, right? So to know a person through a third party is kind of like weird, because you're like, who is this man? Who the fuck is this? But we started conversing and talking, and late night talking and video chatting, and all these things. And yeah, we kind of became official without meeting each other. I mean, young and dumb. I had turned 19. So loved it. And then I started I went into school and he removed himself as a relationship on Facebook. Okay. Now the summer you was my whole boyfriend, but then as soon as I start school, as soon as we both start school, now you're not my boyfriend anymore. And he had to hit me with that, like, I don't know, I'm just confused because I chatted with my ex and da 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 da. And just to put a pause in this story, when I tell people y'all don't want me to go back to early 20-year-old Candace, you do not want me to go back to early like 20-year-old Candace, because that was a Candace that truly and genuinely did not give an ounce of a fuck about anyone's thought process, their mindset. That she did not care. She did not care. Like not an ounce. Not an ounce. And I was cold-blooded. Oh, baby. I I thought I was pretty bad right now. Like I'm good. I actually do give favor to people, right? I give grace. But back then, mm-mm. Once he said, well, I talked to my ex, I said, well, then go confused with your ex and let me know when you're unconfused. And I hung up. And I went on and was whoring myself out and doing whatever I wanted to do and all this other stuff. And so it wasn't until second semester when it was his birthday. He's in Aries. I believe his birthday is March 31st, March 30th or 31st. I can't remember. And so I did the decent thing. I'm a human being. And I hit him up. I said, happy birthday. And we just started chatting and we got back together. Okay. So the first time we met each other wasn't until like the summertime or whatever. Anyway, but moving on, that was a long ass piece of a story. He lived in New Jersey, and obviously I live in Massachusetts. So when it came to two broke ass college kids literally working minimum wage just to make it, me more than him was working. I think we did once a month or once every other month. It was like once a month, or if we could do it, it was once every other month. Like if we was really, really bad and we couldn't see each other, it was every other month. If we had the funds, we seen each other once a month. And he would always take the bus. I never went to New Jersey to see him. He would always take the bus to come see me because I lived in a dorm. He wasn't dorming, he lived at home. So that's how we handled our long distance relationships. Now you're talking about two broke ass college students. Once again, me more than him, but he would still try to get some money to make sure he buys his tickets, or we would split the funds. And he would just come stay with me for the weekend, and we was making it work. It was working very well. But here's the thing: we're young, and he's a boy. So you know what that means. To my knowledge, he didn't cheat, but he more than likely did cheat, and then broke up with me in the process to rectify this cheating. I don't know. I talked to him years later, and he still said he didn't cheat, and he still stands by the fact that he didn't cheat. It's just that his boys made him feel like that I was cheating. Like, oh, she's in Boston. Like, what you know she doing? She could be cheating. Da da da. And I'm like, because they wanted you to cheat, idiot. But, it is what it is. But I will say that I'm grateful for that relationship because it taught me at an early age that if I really want it and I really love this and I love it or whatever a lot, I'm willing to fight for it. I'm willing to stay down for it because no one could make me budge from that man. No one I mean, Method Man at that time could have came and tried to talk to me, and I would have been like, I got a man. Okay. No one was gonna make me budge from that man. Okay. When I tell you I was in love, I was in love. Okay. So I'm glad that I got that because I don't know if I didn't do it, I don't know if today I would have had the success that I've had with someone in my long distance situations. Okay. I just don't think that it would have worked out too well because I understand the whole you're working, you can't pick up the phone that much, or you're out doing regular shit and I'm out doing regular shit. We're not going to be able to connect that much. Like, I have a better understanding of it now. Had I not went through that when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have, and would have been like, bullshit, my dude, you could fucking call me, you could text me, you could whatever. I think that when it comes to long distance relationships, that if you're willing, even if it's long distance situationships, if you're willing to put in some form of effort, it's going to be okay. And I don't want anyone to think of the concept of like, okay, well, I don't know what they're doing. They could be talking to somebody. Baby, you could live in the same apartment building with a motherfucker and still be getting cheated on. Okay. Not in the same apartment, not in the same house, apartment building. You could be on the 4th floor, they could be on the 3rd, and they going to see a hoe on the 2nd. Okay. It does not matter. Like, your proximity has nothing to do with their loyalty, like, at all, whatsoever. I mean, look at all the women who are married and found out that their husband has a whole nother family down the block, walking distance, and they don't know nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So proximity has nothing to do with their loyalty. You feel what I'm saying? And this is just men and women. I'm just saying in general, proximity has nothing to do with a person's loyalty, like, at all. You know? Um, I have found, unfortunately, I connect better with men out of state, more specifically down south men. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm just, Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland had it. We like them down south niggas. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. Fuck. Yeah, I just love a southern nigga. Even when I was dating my boyfriend in high school, and even till when we were up to adults, when we were just, in a situationship chatting and talking and whatever, he would always say, like, I know your man's gonna be from the South. I know he is. Like, your family's from the South, like, you like a southern nigga. And I was like, and I do. Oh. Now, mind you, none of the niggas I talk to have like a deep accent. So it's really not the accent. It's just like, I thought I heard the smoke alarm beep. It's just the way they carry themselves. So the way they talk is smooth. It's real fucking smooth. You know? I don't know. And for whatever reason, they treat me a lot better than these fucking hood booger ass motherfuckers in Massachusetts. You feel what I'm saying? And I always thought like I was the problem. Here's the thing too about long distance relationship. You realize that maybe you aren't the problem, your environment is, right? Had I never ventured out, let's just say like when I would visit my sister, and this is mainly why I started talking to dudes from the South, because I would go down south and I would visit my sister, right? Um, and when I would be down there and I'm visiting, of course I have my Tinder, my BLK, well, now Hinge, but you know what I'm saying. Plenty of Fish. I forgot what the other ones used to be called. But I would have them open and I'd be swiping, through the area and stuff. And that's why I got to know a couple of people. What the first person that I started chatting with out of South, like I was from North Carolina. Hey, Brandon. He was so sweet. It's so cool. But besides him as a person, like being on BLK and I'm getting matched. I mean, like back to back. You feel what I'm saying? No Drizzy Jake Rogers. Me here in Massachusetts, a match comes a dime a dozen. Like it takes a lot for me to get a match. Now on BLK, I just canceled my subscription. It was like a 6-month subscription. where was able to see who liked me, right? So I could see who swiped right on me, and then I could just go through and say, yeah, nah, 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 I'm all set. Which I do like as a function because then I'm able to see what's out there and what's looking for me. What's looking for me here in Massachusetts would never touch me with a 20-foot pole. Okay. There's only a couple that I have found off of there that are pretty okay. But obviously, your girl is still single and not having a close proximity fuck buddy. So therefore, none of them really work out at all, right? But any dude from the South that I chat with, it's a good time. It's a great time every single time. It's a good time every single time. Every single time. There's obviously you're not, it is beeping. Um, obviously you're not going to hit the nail on the head every time. There are going to be some exceptions. There are going to be some times where it doesn't work out well, but at least you know that you put in the effort to like try to attempt to talk and have a conversation. But more so, this isn't about me and what I got going on. So mind your fucking business. But more so in a general statement, like I don't know what it is, but this ugh, asshole of a person that I did talk to at one point, he made only one good point, and that is we are both grown, we are both adults, and we both have full functioning jobs. There's no reason why a trip should break us from seeing each other. And he got that. I mean, depending on where you live in the proximity, it shouldn't like if I live in Florida and you live in Mississippi, yeah, that's depending on the part of Florida, depending on the part of Florida. Because if you live in the Panhandle, then yeah, that makes it like was that Tallahassee? Yeah, that makes it a little bit easier for us to like drive and meet in the middle. Was that going to take like 3.5, 4 hours or something like that to just meet in the middle? And that's like what Alabama, Georgia line. And depending on, like I said, what side you live on in Mississippi, yeah, that could work. Or if you, like I said, I live in Massachusetts, you live in Jersey. Okay, we both taking a bus to like Maryland or something like that. Like, there's so many different ways that you can meet in the middle and try to make it work that you don't have to go the long distance. One person doesn't have to always go one way for you to make it work. Now, living circumstances will definitely interfere with that. I will definitely say that. If you live on your own, it makes it better because then that person only has to, or maybe if you're funding the flights, I don't know whose pockets are bigger, but then it's just flight and like everyday food. That's the only thing that you're really worrying about when visiting said person. When you don't have the accommodations like your girl, then therefore you have to put in, lodging. So it's like what hotels are cheaper and blah, blah, blah. And you're not able to kind of stay and linger if you wanted to. So let's just say a person wanted to do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like if they were coming to visit me, I have to think about hotels Thursday, Friday, Saturday, check out Sunday, which one's more feasible, which one's the cheapest because Massachusetts is expensive. I would have to think about that. If we're getting a hotel, then that obviously means we're not going to be eating like I ain't gonna be cooking you food like that. Like we could get a hotel that has like the kitchen and stuff like that in it, but that just is added more to the charge. You feel what I'm saying? So now I have to worry about us eating morning, noon, and night, or like that morning, noon, night, food run and all the other stuff. And because you can't just run off of the what's up, Eric? You can't run off the dollar menu, you know what I'm saying, the whole time that you're here. So there's so much more that's put into it. Rather if I went to a person who had their own place, or if I had my own place and they flew there, it just takes a chunk of money off of the whole entire dealing. So I understand that circumstance, but there's nothing wrong with like even if you guys, let's just say you be like, okay, well, I didn't want to come visit you and you didn't want to come visit me. Let's go visit somewhere with each other. Let's go somewhere and meet each other in the middle. Like, let's go to Sacramento, or let's meet up in, San Antonio. Let's meet up in Vegas for the fun weekend. Like, let's meet up somewhere that's in the middle for both of us and it's cheaper. Because if you think about it, distance has something to do with it. Like, I could fly to Maryland for the low right now if I wanted to. But if I wanted to fly to Atlanta, I, I gotta put some time in. You feel what I'm saying? So, and maybe let's not fly to popular city states. That's why it won't be so expensive. Let's try low ones. Like, like in North Dakota, there might be like log cabins or something like that that you could go and hang out in for a weekend. Go there. And the flight might be cheaper because it's not a typically flown, like, like route or something like that. You can make it how you wanna make it. You feel what I'm saying? I think it's just based off of your willingness to make it work. Like, what are the accommodations you're looking for? What's the do's, what's the don'ts? What are your hard boundary lines? Like, all those things have to be taken to effect. For me personally, back then and now even, if I'm talking to you, I could talk to a motherfucker all fucking day. Okay. If I truly enjoy having conversations with you, and I mean conversations, like we are actually talking about stuff and all that, I could talk to you all day, no problem, because I'm a gabbermouth, right? Um, More importantly, I like when a person makes me feel comfortable when to the point that I don't have to talk. Yeah, I am a '92 baby, okay, which means the OOs raised me, okay? So, um, getting those phone calls in high school at night and stuff, we're not talking about nothing too deep. I mean, we are, but we're not. So guess what's gonna happen? There's gonna be moments where we're just not even saying nothing on the phone. We're just breathing. We're just enjoying each other's presence on the phone. And I think that's the reason why I'm able to act the way I am on the phone now, because I can sit there and talk to you too, but I could also be doing my work while you're doing your work, or I could be out grocery shopping while you're playing video games, or you're hanging out with the homies. I mean, I don't know why you would be on the phone doing that, but like you could go to a bookstore or whatever. My friend, when she was in a relationship, she would be at the nail salon getting her nails done, and she'd be on the phone with that man, and that man's at his house playing video games. And we would be at the nail salon, and she would say something like, "What'd you say?" She's like, "Oh no, I'm on the phone with so and so." Mind you, she was not talking for 35 minutes straight prior to that, so I wouldn't have known she was on the phone. But it's about that presence, and then we got FaceTime. Woo! Now I physically can see you. Now I can physically see that we're just really enjoying each other's time, because guess what? If we were in each other's face, and that's what I think people really forget, the distance isn't the problem. It's how are you willing to accommodate in that distance? Because even if we weren't on the phone right now, we would still be doing the same damn thing. If me and you didn't live in two different states right now, we would still be doing the same damn thing. You feel what I'm saying? If we lived in the same city, you are probably at home picking your pube hairs, laying in bed, scrolling on TikTok, right? At the same time, I'm in Joanne Fabrics, looking at some random ass shit to sew or some fake flowers or something. And we both live in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? But we're just on the phone talking to each other. How different is that now that we're not both in Kansas City, now one of us is in Las Vegas and the other one is in Seattle. It's like there's no difference. We're still doing the same thing. And I think that's where people get screwed up. What would I be doing if I was with you right now? would there be any difference if I was with you right now? Like if we both had a very boring ass Saturday, we didn't have shit to do, would we be doing anything together in the same moment? Or would we be just sitting on one of our couches, not doing shit? Like, and I understand that if you're a physical person and you like physical touch, it will matter to you a lot more to be in that person's space and to just not be doing anything. But what I've learned, what Big Mama learned, I have always compensated physical touch for you love me. So, just a quick little snappy poo about your girl. Not that I was out here fucking like that, but I definitely was using sex as a way to feel loved by a person. And it not even necessarily like love, like deep love. Like I'm talking like, oh, if he wants to fuck me, then he really likes me. He has to like me if he wants to fuck me. You know, oh, he loves having me come over and just fuck. That means he likes hanging out with me. He likes chilling with me. And it's like one and two is not the same. Just because they like fucking you doesn't mean they necessarily like to hang out with you there so after. You know what I'm saying? But that was how my brain processed it because I love physical touch so much that I'm like, fine, fuck on me. As long as I'm getting touched and loved and kissed on, it makes me feel good. That's fine. And that's not how you're supposed to be living, right? So, apart from that, through growth and therapy, I have switched my brain and compensated physical touch for other things. So I may not get a kiss, but I can blow you one through the screen and I can feel like, I got something. I may not be able to hold your hand, but it feels good when I'm like, okay, well, I'll let you go. I don't want to bother you. It's just like, did I tell you I wanted you to leave? I want to look at you. So you're fine, you know, or frankly to say, not having sex. Hello, Bluetooth toys. Shout out to Lovins. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, you just have to really replace one thing for the another. And I understand not everybody's a physical person, a physical touch person, so it's not going to matter to you. Um, but words could replace that physical touch for you. You feel me? Because, like, once again, you could be a floor away from each other and you just want to feel a hug and nigga too busy to do that. But you know who's not busy? That nigga in Florida. That nigga who answers that phone quick as fucking lightning and answers it with a wink. What's up, baby? How you doing? Take me now. You feel what I'm saying? It's all about how you perceive things. And I really wish I remember that dude's name, but I'll create the video and you're literally gonna see what I'm talking about. But I think I reposted it, but yeah. It's not easy. It's not. Um and I think some people look at it as a reason to not exist, but then you're functionally doing it. Like I see some people who are like literally like, oh, I just could never do a long distance relationship. Bitch, you've been talking to the same nigga for the past 4.5 months and only seen that man 3 times. You are in a long distance relationship. And he lives in the next town over. Okay? And some people will justify long distance as like, oh, more than an hour away. I know inflation is high, but I didn't know gas was that deep to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people would say 3 hours is long distance. Some people will say, well, this is actual long distance when you are uh, n- like 3.5 to 4 hours or more is definitely long distance. But some people that doesn't bother them. But what bother them is when you're across the country from each other. That would bother them, you know. But 3, 4 hours, they're like, fuck it, bitch, I'll drive that shit. That's nothing to me. You know who I am? The fuck? So it just depends on who you are, but communication is super duper important. Super duper important. And you got to talk it out. You got to talk it out. There's no such thing as assuming in long distance relationships. If you assume you are doomed, if you assume you are doomed, you got to talk and overly talk. Like this a long distance relationship or a long distance situationship, whatever the case may be, will make you a really good communicator because you have to. Like the other day, I was talking to one of my little years, and I don't know, he just seemed a little off and a little distant, and I, gave him his space, but still was kind of like, nah, nigga, like, what's up? The fuck, you know? And he was just having a little bad day. And that's okay to have a bad day. Let me know you're having a bad day. Like, if I call you the first time and you don't want to talk, all right, cool. Text me like, yo, I'm having a bad day. I don't want to put that on you. All right, then bet. But when I'm not hearing from you, it's going to make me feel like it's my fault. And there are people who are like me out there in the world. And so I finally just said, yo, I'm not trying to make this bigger than what it is. I don't know what's going on, but if I'm doing too much communicating right now, just let me know and I can fall back and let you breathe. And it was just like, we had a good combo. I'm just like, all right, bet. I understand. I got it. All it is just communication. And if you are not big on opening up, then you're not big for anything. Like not even a situationship, not even a fuck buddy. If you're not willing to communicate, you can't talk to people. If you are closed off, then don't deal with nobody in any capacity, even if you're just fucking, because you're not gonna know how to convey emotions correctly, and it's gonna come off cold and disheartening, and nobody wants that at all, and that's on period. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much. That was it. That was like just my premise of the whole entire thing, you know. I thank you all for watching, more so Menina and Eric, whoever else popped in, thank you. Um, and yeah, and thank you guys for letting me just have these moments on my YouTube channel where I just come on, record, vent, and then I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done. I think I'm done. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Once again, I try to do these every Thursday now, but I missed Thursday and I didn't want the weekend to pass through without giving y'all what y'all need. So yeah. But I'm probably gonna go live in the next hour maybe and just start drinking. So yeah. I'll see you guys there. C.Hayes INC on TikTok. Bye bye.